I need the clicker is what I need. Good morning, everybody. So good to see everybody this morning on this bright and beautiful day. A little rain last night. I mean, a little, but we'll count it. But it just the lovely smell today, the lovely visual, just how beautiful it was today. So glad to be a part of everything today. What I know is today is life is abundant, life is beautiful, and we're going to begin celebrating that day with Astra Fox. Thank you for being here, Astra. Let's welcome her.
Good morning. Hello. So happy to be here. All right. So this is a Rainbow Family song. I hope you'll join me with this. We are opening up in sweet surrender. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. Just like that. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. One more time. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening.
I just love, Astra, when you get us started, and then we're singing, and then you stop the guitar, and you just hear voices. It's really, you guys sound great today, by the way. It's very
Yeah,
beautiful.
give yourselves a hand.
Yeah. And that's part of our celebration these days of our abundance, our prosperity that we're celebrating this month, the adventures in prosperity. That part of this prosperity is this community that I feel grateful for and celebrating. So some of the slides we've made this week are about this community, and I like what we've done with the vision statement. We just put our one picture we had. It's whenever you take a picture of a family or a community, it's a snapshot in history, but it could be. We probably need to do another one soon, to update it. But this is one we took out in the courtyard, and so this is our vision statement. Those online, we welcome you as well. And you can read on your screen, as well as everybody here can read on their screen, this vision statement. Together we say, we are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. And our mission statement, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths. I just love because it feels like we are actually saying that as a community. So thank you for being a part of this affirmation this morning, but also part of this community that is knowing this and realizing this with every breath and every step we take in this community and out beyond in this community. So thank you so much. A few announcements we've got going on. First of all, today, this very day, at 12:30, Astra is leading in a workshop. I'm going to do a brief introduction, but it's mostly Astra's mantra workshop. I don't know if you were here at the concert over the summer, you heard her talking about this work that you can do affirmations, but create a little song with it, and it's a good way to remember it. It kind of stays like a jingle in a commercial, but it's a positive affirmation, so I hope you can stay for that workshop. And we're going to have a little demonstration of it at the end of the service. We're going to talk about it a little more, but I think you'll be excited about it. $30 suggested donation, but don't let that keep you from coming. All are welcome, and you can donate what you can today, but we appreciate that. Astra is learned and skilled in the area, so we'll have fun with that. And then also today is the Compassion and Action Day, where you're invited to bring food. I know people who participate in this don't do it every time, but if you did, we sure appreciate it. It supplies the food bank with food, and I appreciate Janice for continuing to do this for several years. You know, Janice, I don't know if I told you this or not, but when you were gone to Colorado, I covered for you and took the food down, and I didn't get it there till 1 o'clock, and I got in trouble. They said, we were wondering where Janice was and why she was late. She's never late. Oh, you're doing it. No wonder it's late. I didn't know it had to be there by noon. If I ever have to cover for you again, I know that now, but... Yeah, for those online, Janice just thanked everybody for bringing food in. So let's give ourselves a round of applause for doing this. And we just want to express during this season with this Adventures in Prosperity our gratitude for this community, our gratitude for your financial donations as well as your volunteer time and just being part of this community. So there's 2 events coming up in November. But we want to start, you need to start signing up for them now because we need to know how many people are going to be at these 2 events. The first one is on November 9th. It's a Saturday at 5:30 p.m. We'll provide dinner for you and entertainment. All you have to do is show up. So there's online you can sign up off our website or out in the courtyard. There's a sign-up sheet out there, so if you're not an electronic person, just put your name on there so we know you're coming, or there's a little QR code there. So please sign up ahead of time. That'll be a fun evening. It's always an annual event that we do. We used to do it earlier, but I like it later, and more of a fall event. So and then the following Sunday, so the week after that. The Spanish-speaking ministry, the Spanish group, is in appreciation of our support of them, are doing a Thanksgiving meal for us right after the service. So this is also going to be a fun event. Hope you can make both of them, but try to make at least one of them. And this one also needs your reservations ahead of time to know how many people are going to be there. But I think that'll be a fun event to do. And thank you, Imelda, and all the Spanish-speaking group that providing us lunch. So it's gratitude. It's also a celebration of community. So thank you for being a part of that. And then this continues, as I mentioned, our Adventures in Prosperity, and it's during our Card of Intention pledge drive. So just like, NPR, if you listen to NPR, they go through pledge drive. So this is our pledge drive that we invite you to fill out a card of intent towards what you anticipate will be your giving in 2025. It's hard to believe, where do these years go? 2025, so that the board can be wise stewards of the money that donated, to anticipate that, to know what we can fund and what we need to tighten up a little bit or something, but we appreciate it. And the symbol for this year's is a concentric circles that go out. And what we know is that the more we're able to receive in pledges, the more we're able to go out in the community to do greater works with our compassion and action work, in our work with the Interfaith Council, our work with Martin Luther King Day of Action and Compassion. We know our community is at the center of this as we move out and we promote leaders like our practitioners that we have, as well as do projects in the community. in different ways that we work and different nonprofits we work with. And like I said, the more where it starts at the center is our community that we know that is continued to expand also. And with more resources, we're able to expand out in the community even more and do a greater work through us as us. So we're excited about that possibility. So we ask that you return these cards of intention by November 10th. So you've got a month to prayerfully consider what that might be, and we appreciate that consideration. And then also this continues to be Latinx or Latina Heritage Month through September through November 2nd. And I mentioned this last week, but I think I continue to mention that we are grateful for the culture of Latinos in this valley that have continued to be part of the community in every way. I am grateful that it becoming more integrated, where it's not separate, that there more and more people are bilingual and more people are celebrating this culture and acknowledging it and honoring it. And one thing we're going to do this year is a little different, is we are going to have a Day of the Dead altar starting on October 27th, so in a couple weeks, and we're going to put it right up here up front. We're going to put it together after the service on the 27th. If you don't know what that is, it's part of the Dia de los Muertos. I'm trying there. That is celebrated in Mexico, and it's, like I said, the Day of the Dead, but it's not, it's honoring and remembering those who have passed before us, our loved ones that we care for. And so we're on this altar. You can bring photos of those people that have passed in your lives, those people have transitioned, and set them on the altar. And you can do it on Sunday the 27th, as we're creating the altar after the service. Stay to put your picture on there. Or come midweek on Wednesday, we're going to have a meditation and ritual after the meditation on Wednesday, October 30th. And then the following Sunday, November 3rd. And so that'll be part of the service on that day. So I hope you can be a part of that. I think it's a great way. I don't know about you, but I have people in my life that I think of at times because of how much they brought in my life and how grateful I am for who they are in my life. And if you have friends that want to come and bring a photo, they don't have to be part of our community for that also. And then on that November 3rd, kind of a fun thing, we have Brian Lotman. I haven't met him yet, but we've talked on the phone and emailed. He's a Buddhist monk who does chanting. And so he's going to bring, if you know what a harmonium is, it's like a small piano, but it's on the floor, and he's going to lead us for some chants during the service and then have a longer period of chants after the service. So we're excited about that. Suggested donation of $30, but as he says, no one is turned away. And he'll do some Dharma talk in a little bit, but it'll be kind of a different way of, I think it's good to experience different kinds of spiritual practices. So he'll be a part of that. Wednesday is always our open meditation day. Please come at 6 o'clock and join us. We're a growing number of people doing that. And also know that we're always here for prayer, that the practitioners and I enjoy praying for other people, knowing their greater truth, and knowing it for ourselves as well. So after this service, there will be a gap between when the service ends and when the workshop starts. The practitioners will be in here to pray with you for a brief affirmative prayer. And sometimes it's good to get a mirror of what, or a clarification of what your prayers are for. Sometimes we can be stuck in the problem or just focused on the problem. And the practitioners are great about making a turn and seeing that which you're seeking, the experience you're seeking, rather than what you're experiencing currently. There's also forms in the lobby and online you can fill out to request prayers. Like I said, it's our honor to do that. And now we'll begin with our sacred time and our pre-meditation song. Thank you, Astra.
So I invite you to sing along or just listen. At the center of my being there is love. At the center of my being there is love. This love is perfect. This love is in me. At the center of my being there is love. At the center of my being there is love. At the center of my being there is love. This love is perfect. This love is in me. At the center of my being there is love. At the center of my being there is love.
I invite you all to soften your gaze or close your eyes. We'll tune into our breath, find our center where we connect with Spirit. Take a few moments in silence. I welcome you back to the room. I give thanks for everybody being here today. Thank you.
During this month, we're also inviting some members of our congregation to come and share with us about their prosperity, about their abundance, and about their life. To kind of, it's also a celebration of community because we get to know each other a little better. So I'd invite Joanne Sucher to come up here. Joanne has been part of this community for,
24 years.
24 years. She's was a close friend of Reverend Janet's, who was my predecessor and a close friend of mine, that she's always, I can count on her to tell me the truth and be compassionate and loving in all ways. So I consider that. So welcome. I'm excited about you. You have an experience of fundraising with your professional job. You're retired now, so you're used to doing big events and different things. So I especially wanted to have you up here just to talk a little bit about your views of abundance. But first of all, just tell us about just a sense of community and your sense of this community.
Well, this community has been such an important part of my life since I moved to Napa in 2000. I was already involved in the New Thought philosophies when I was in San Francisco, but this is where I found my spiritual home and where I've had that connection. So in all these years, there have been a lot of ups and downs in my life, a lot of ups, wonderful, but also some pretty significant downs. And where I turn when I need to get grounded, when I need to find center, when I need support, is to the principles of science of mind and to this community. So this community is very important to me. you know, over the years, I've taken a lot of classes, and that's part of how I learned about science of mind and the principles. And those included classes about abundance and prosperity along the way. And money is just one part of abundance and prosperity. So for me, beauty, nature, and human connection are the things that fill me up. But money's important. You know, we all need money to live, and the center needs money to keep the lights on for us and to provide the services to give us a place that we can come together and celebrate these things. So I made some notes because
Go right ahead.
I knew I'd go off on a tangent and forget what I wanted to say, right? Yeah, so my relationship to money has changed over the years as I have examined my own beliefs and thoughts about money. So one of the beliefs that I had from growing up is that you can be successful, you can have anything you want if you work hard enough. So guess what? In my life, I've been a hard worker. You know, just because you believe something doesn't mean it's true. In this case, it is true. You know, I've worked hard and I've been reasonably successful, but that's not the whole truth. You know, the other part of it is that I could have worked a lot less hard and still been successful. I've seen many people do that. So, you know, what we believe really can inform how we act in life, and it's important to think about that, and in relation to our own prosperity. I was thinking about some of the things that are common in our society, of things that we're told about money. See if these sound familiar to you. Money doesn't grow on trees. Money is scarce. That person is filthy rich. Money is dirty. Money can't buy happiness. Well, that's true. Money can't buy happiness, but it can make our lives a lot easier. You know, money is not good or bad. It's a tool. There's a saying, an old saying in the New Thought tradition that is, money is God in action. And so just like the green food bags that we bring is God in action,
Yeah.
money can be God in action as well. And it's up to us how we use it and how we open to it.
And I would add to that the values that we have. It supports values that we have.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And if you think that you don't deserve money, guess what? Yeah, it can be elusive if you think you don't deserve it. So how we think about it has a lot to do with how we experience it for ourselves. So a little story that has stuck in my mind for all these years is that when you go to the well, if you bring a thimble, you're going to get a little tiny bit of water. So when you go to the well, bring a bucket.
Okay.
You know, bring a bucket. Ask for what it is you need. Don't feel like you don't deserve. You know, be open to receiving it, and that's what helps to attract it. I believe that it's important to financially support the places where I'm spiritually fed. The center, as I said earlier, has been really a primary place for me. The teachings and the center itself and all of the people here over the years, many who are still here, many who have gone, have supported me in so many ways and helped me grow. So I believe it's important to support the center financially. Years ago, I was introduced to the laws of circulation and also to tithing, which was I grew up in a family that was philanthropic, but the idea of tithing really was kind of new to me. So in reality, I have never actually done like the formula of contributing 10% of everything I earn to my center or wherever I'm spiritually fed. But, I was a little skeptical in the beginning, but I started increasing my giving. And every time I would give more, I never missed it, and I kept getting more. I kept earning more. So I have continued to follow that. I don't keep track of the numbers. I give what I feel I can. Sometimes I stretch a little bit more, and I always feel it comes back to me. So, I would ask you, if this is the place where you are spiritually fed, then please join me in making a commitment to support it financially.
Thank you, Joanne.
I am connected to this divine source of love that guides me through this world. I make an impact with each being I meet. I am exactly who I need for my highest good. For my highest good, I am worthy. For my highest good, for my highest good, I am worthy. I am accepted by this divine source of love that rises through this world. I make an impact with each heartbeat. Today is exactly what I need for my highest good. For my highest good, I am worthy. Won't you sing that with me? For my highest good, I am worthy. For my highest good, again. For my highest good, I am worthy. That was so good. We're going to do it again. Here we go. For my highest good, for my highest good, I am worthy. I am connected to this divine source of love that guides me through this world. Thank you.
Beautiful, Astra. Just beautiful. I think it sets the tone for my message today, just being open to divine, and this adventures in prosperity that we're doing this month. It's interesting. First of all, I appreciate your toleration or acceptance about a church talking about money this month, because it's not always a comfortable topic. But like I said last week, I think it's really important to do, because so many of our myths and beliefs and assumptions are often based on money stuff. And that we can, if we suddenly feel like we don't have enough at some point, a lot of our beliefs about ourselves, our worthiness come up. So it's good to continue to be mindful about our own self, our own thinking around money. It's interesting because this Centers for Spiritual Living, based on the science of mind philosophy that Ernest Holmes synthesized from ancient wisdom and other new thought writers and other people, is sometimes has a myth about it that it's a get-rich-quick scheme. And Ernest Holmes from the very beginning says it is not that at all. It's a misunderstanding and an oversimplification of our philosophy. And sometimes I believe that's been because of what's called American determinism, that was so many people used what they thought positive thought helped them create a wealth around oil and railroads. They became tycoons. People like Henry Ford, who said, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Now that's clever and thoughtful, but I'm telling you, positive thinking by itself is not enough. That we need to feel that which we want to sense, that which we want to experience, and it may not have the same outlook, the same outpicturing that we expect it to. You know, occasionally I buy lottery tickets. My outpicturing is that I will win that. It hasn't happened yet, no matter how many positive thoughts I have. And I think that Ernest Holmes was right on with that, but often it's lost in thinking that we can just think something and it is so. So he went on to say it's not a quick get-rich-quick scheme. Neither does it promise something for nothing. We need not labor under the illusion that all we have to do is say something and that everything is ours. We do not take what we do not necessarily get what we wish for, but we do attract to ourselves that which is like our thought. Each one of us must become more if we wish to draw a greater good into our life. It is only as true as we know it and we allow it. And here's the phrase that I just love. We provide the mold for the universe to fill. We provide the mold for the universe to fill. So I'm going back to the words of Joanne. You know, are we bringing a little thimble to fill in here? Could you please fill this in? Are we bringing a bucket, a vessel, something that we open up, and we open up our consciousness to receive a greater abundance in our lives? And this idea that we can just say it and claim it, I'm not saying it doesn't have an effect. Our thoughts definitely have an effect. But personally, I'm grateful for all of my thoughts not having power to create, because some of them are a little wonky, right? But I can choose the thoughts that I want to make powerful, that I want to bring into my system, bring into the power, and know it and create an experience in me that is the truth. And so as we step in this week into my theme this week, which is, are we led by AI or DI? And of course, AI, you're familiar with artificial intelligence. DI is my nickname for divine intelligence. So are we locked into a divine knowing within us, or are we an artificial intelligence? What we know about artificial intelligence, it's just bringing all the information, but it's not necessarily accurate. It's not necessarily reliable. It's based on old information, but that's what it's based on, versus the divine intelligence is real, relevant, and reliable. And it's personal to us. The indwelling God, it reveals in us that which we are seeking in that moment. There's nobody else or nothing else that can provide that information for us except that which is within. Ralph Waldo Emerson called this self-reliance. And a lot of people, particularly those people who were determinist, always thought self-reliance, that Ralph Waldo Emerson was talking about as relying on ourselves. But actually what he wrote, if you really read his book, it's talking about relying on our inner voice, our inner wisdom, our inner truth, our inner being, that which resonates. And we can do, so to speak, when we hear something, does it resonate? Does it hold water? Does it hold the truth? Does it make sense? Is it true for me? And then ask yourself, is it really true? Because initially we can say, oh yeah, sure. Wait a minute, let's drop a little bit deeper and find what that is. Now, what I know about intuition and divine guidance, whatever you want to call it, universal support, is that we can experience it in different ways. Some people hear it, some people see it, and I think that's a minority of people. Most people sense it in their body, in your sensory body, or know it in your body. Know whether it's the truth for you or not, and you can move forward with it. And so this idea that we rely on a divine intelligence, a divine understanding. You know, these days, even the news that we watch is often biased or not objective, slanted. I know some of us may not realize that because as long as it agrees with us, we're okay with that source, right? But in truth, our news is often tainted or slanted or from a different perspective. And so we need to, and also the people around us are often opinionated and offer advice in ways. And so the one thing that we can rely on is this spirit within us. I know there's a lot of people who have, I talk to people every day that are anxious about the upcoming election. In truth, particularly our presidential candidates couldn't be more diverse in their narrative of life. And whichever presidential candidate you support, both sides think if the other person's elected, the world's going to fall apart. What I know is the one God, the one inner knowing you have within you right now won't change no matter who's elected. It will be the same God before this election and after this election. The same sense of the divine. Now there are things, and also I know no matter who's elected, there are certain issues that are important to you, whether it's women's rights or human rights or children, their education of children, whatever it is, particular issues you think are really important. Those are going to be issues no matter what, no matter who's elected also. Things that we need to continue advocating for, continuing to writing letters to our congressmen, standing up, being part of writing postcards and being a part of events here in Napa that create a beloved community and model this, that it's okay to be kind. In fact, this is the way community works better. So no matter what, our life is going to have a constancy to it. And what I would encourage us to do is align with this now and through the election, and hold that to be the truth. Hold that to be that harmony and peace. And still hold prayers for the highest and best to happen for our country. And continue to doing what you're doing to support the candidates of your choice. To vote for your values, to vote for what the issues you think are important, and doing that. I'm not going to tell you how to vote, but I am going to encourage you to be in this oneness through the process and continue to be. This collection of cultural ideas, beliefs, and memories and assumptions didn't start. Artificial intelligence is a megaphone of all these, but it's been around. It's been around since been humans. Carl Jung, 100 years ago, called it the collective unconscious. Ernest Holmes, our founder, called it race mind, and let me clarify what he meant with human race mind. not a particular race, but the general all of human race, our collective thought that we have. And I always have to compare it to like this collective thought, like an ocean liner that's in the ocean, and it takes a long time to turn one of those big ships, forever. And that's like collective thought. It takes a while for collective thought to turn. It's generally outdated, antiquated, based on myths, based on things that are not true anymore. Maybe they've never been true. And it's for us, when we align with a greater truth, a higher truth, particularly if we're doing it as a community, we're beginning to turn and shift that collective unconscious to make it more conscious, more mindful. And yes, it takes a while, but just think of how long it took for people to, as a collective body, believe that the sun was the center of our solar system. It took hundreds of years. They jailed people who believed that, persecuted them. It took a while, so some things take a while. And we want to continue being that consciousness that shifts things, that moves things, and find that self-reliance within us. That we keep doing our spiritual work. With the floods in Florida this week, we hold them in prayer. I actually married a couple from Florida yesterday who are from the Tampa Bay area. And they said their homes are okay, but there was some devastation there. And obviously further south, there was a lot of devastation, a lot of flooding. But in kind of a probably curious or morbid thoughts, the way my brain goes, I was thinking about Noah, and the ark he built according to the Torah or the Old Testament, which are similar, right? The Torah, if you don't know, that's a Jewish sacred text. It's the first 5 chapters of what most of us call the Old Testament. And they have similar stories. They're slightly different translations, but for the most part. And just like, by the way, Jews, just like Christians, some of them are conservative and believe the Torah literally. Some are view it moderately, that it's written by God, but there are human interactions. Some people just think it's inspired by God. The Reform Jewish congregation, Beth Shalom, here is a Reform, so they believe that the Torah was inspired by God, but not necessarily a literal word. And the story of Noah is one that, when I was a little kid, it just didn't make a lot of sense. How somebody spent, years building this ark, and it was about the size of a football field and could fit all the animals in the world in there, and was launched in water for a year, and how the logistics of caring for all those animals, and how some of them didn't eat each other, and some of them probably were populating the whole thing into hundreds. It started as 2, and now there's hundreds. But also, what about the koalas and the kangaroos and the elephants and the penguins? Did they get the memo they were supposed to be on that boat? I don't know. But we don't have to know. What's great is metaphysical believers of the Bible, we just have to know that there is some truth in that for us. And this is going back to divine intelligence, that we contemplate what truth is there. And for Noah, he relied on divine intelligence to tell him, to guide him. I'm sure there were lots of people making fun of that guy and building his boat. You can imagine. But he stayed true to that. And so this is us. No matter what public opinion says, no matter what artificial intelligence says, that we know what is true for us and our pathway. And by the way, even in a community like this of Progressive, we can disagree with things. We can have different views. And this needs to be a safe place where we can have disagreement. That we can talk about these ideas. That we give room for that. And to allow that deeper fun, because a lot of it's from our own experiences. Now, when we turn to the divine, yes, there's a universal thing about that. There's a universal way. And within that, there are individual personalities and charismatic experiences that filter and offer our different viewpoints. But I know there's a greater divine truth that is coming through us that is above the maddening crowd. And once again, some people hear it, some people see it, some people sense it, and some people know it in their bodies. 25 years ago, I wasn't here, but some of you were about, maybe it was even 30 years ago. This community was not at this location. They had had a property over, I don't even know what street it's on, but it's a historical building now. It's a small building, and they sold it. And they bought land. There was a vision in this community to buy land and build on this land. So they bought this land on Big Ranch Road out there. It was a big piece of property. And they felt like it was right to buy this property when they did it. And they had a vision for this incredible building with kind of a U-shaped and a courtyard in the middle. It was beautiful. When they began to submit plans to the city, the neighborhood didn't want it there. And there was a resistance there. And my understanding of the community at that time struggled with that idea that, it's a vision. Why is the universe not supporting our vision? But they realized they would not go any further, so they ended up selling that land and made a good profit on it. And guess what they did with that profit? They bought this building here, this building and this property here. And then we ended up with that same, the vision didn't change. The vision was still a community center that we created that had the same feel to it. So sometimes what's important about vision or guidance, we think it has to look a certain way or sound a certain way, but remember, it's the experience we're seeking. The same experience that people back 25 years ago envisioned for that property on Big Ranch Road, this is the experience that they're having now. It's the same. So Spirit doesn't always work in time that we think of. It's in divine timing, the right unfolding, the perfection that is. And we continue to allow that to come through us as us and allow this to be the greater truth. Now, one thing that I have delayed, and I'll take responsibility for that, is the plaque that I promised to people that donated to the courtyard. So we don't need to look at this now. There's a list out on the welcome board. I'm ordering that. I want to make sure it's correct. So please look at it at the welcome table, or I'll send it out on email this week for you to double check. But I want to honor the people that created this vision. And the vision continues, just like we don't know the timing of it, but there's some other things we want to do with this property, including a classroom space, an annex, a expanded foyer for this building, more seats in the sanctuary, but that we don't know the timing of it. We're opening to that, opening to divine right action and all that way, and we appreciate any support of that. I tell you, if anybody has a large donation to make, we'll be glad to name a building after you or an annex after you. We're glad to do that. The board would be happy to do that. So just thinking of ideas that we have, the vision continues, but mainly the vision is for our outreach with our prayer and our outreach in the community, our outreach in ways of working with other nonprofits. I'm working with a group now planning for the Martin Luther King Day of Service and the commemoration and the interfaith work that we're doing. So this is really the expansion of those circles that I'm talking about in here. What I know is that there are certain myths that keeps us from experiencing our abundance in many ways. And one of them is this sense that there is a lack or a scarcity, that there's not enough time, money, or space. Lynn Twist, I've often followed her work. She's a philanthropist and organizer, nonprofit. She grew up in middle class, but with her husband's work came into a lot of money really quickly, and started spending lavishly, including Napa Valley. We love for our wealthy people to come here in the valley, spend lots of money, but she found that it was empty, that there was no meaning behind it. So she began working with the Hunger Project, and found a great meaning, including working with Mother Teresa and other people. And she talks about this idea about sufficiency. And if we're able to let go of scarcity, we discover the surprising truth about sufficiency. And by sufficiency, she doesn't mean a quantity of anything. That we have to feel this sufficiency. We have to know that we are enough and there is enough. And there always is enough. And she just doesn't follow, have any doubts about or lack of reality about beggars in Bombay that she worked with, that they suddenly would feel some sufficiency and there would be enough. But it has to do with our attitude, because many of those beggars in Bombay are quite happy, actually. They find joy and they find abundance and they find connection. And so with this way that we can share our resources, share our way of being, that we can create, as Wayne Muller called it, a life of being, having, and doing enough. That within us there is enough, that is always this sufficiency, that I am enough and we are enough, and it opens us up to a greater understanding, a greater way of being. And then after working with the Hunger Project for many years, she went on a trip to South America, to the rainforest, and there she met with some of the tribes there and really wanted to do more to not only preserve their culture and their way of life that the world was encroaching upon, but creating environmental sustainability for the planet. So she found ways for people to participate in their culture without compromising, without damaging it, and supporting this idea of the rainforest continuing without agriculture encroaching upon it. So she found great value into that. And she says that in our relationship with money, it's using money in a way that expresses our integrity, using it in a way that expresses value rather than determines value. And when you think about this, this idea of scarcity, I don't know if you remember when I first came here in our courtyard, before it was remodeled, there was a sinkhole out there. And there was this hole that no matter what we did, we would put like buckets and buckets of sand and gravel in there, and it would just pour into there, and you couldn't fill it up. There's no way to fill it up, and I think sometimes when we think about a lack in our lives, it's like that. We try and fill it with busyness or doing things or distractions in our lives and not dealing with this feeling of lack. And what we eventually did was put a large manhole cover over it, a metal cover over it, and then we put the rebar and the concrete over it. It's not going to fall through, I promise. It's secure, but we've created a foundation, and the foundation of our beliefs is what was important that allows it to be. And the way we can build on that foundation continually is to know that truth. Use the divine intelligence to allow us to know this deeper truth, this deeper clarity, this strength. I know that you are stronger than you think you are. But the way you can know it is to know that divine intelligence in you. It's the rebarb that's in you. It is crisscrossed and powerful and connected, that is a whole network in the universe that holds you in a place of clarity and power, this divine intelligence. So I invite you to allow that and invite that into your life. So I'm going to invite Astra up now, and we're going to talk a little bit about one thing we can do to create this affirmation. Like I said, our creation of that which we seek to experience is more than a mental thing. We want to bring it into our body. We want to feel it and know it and experience it. And one thing to do that is through singing. not only our voice, we speak it out loud, but singing because our voice resonates in our body, in our heart, in our soul. So it's a way of, Astra's way, these affirmations that are sung, which she calls mantras. Musical mantras that help us. So she's going to lead us through a process of singing this song, and we're going to sing it with her. Okay?
Yes.
We're ready for you.
Beautiful. So what I like to say, what makes musical mantras so powerful is that music brings out emotion. And emotion paired with thought or words makes it more potent. So the more that you can bring up these feelings of remembering in your life where you're expanding in abundance, where you're expanding in success and love, will make it more powerful. So I invite you to do that as you open your heart and join me in song. We'll do it call and response, and then we'll sing it all together. So repeat after me. Let's see. I expand in abundance. I expand in abundance. I expand in success. I expand in success. I expand in love. I expand in love every day, every day, every day, every day, and I inspire others to do the same. And I inspire others to do the same. You ready to do it all together? I expand in abundance. I expand in success. I expand in love every day, and I inspire others to do the same.
That's great. And is that available online anywhere? Can we get that?
This one is available on my Instagram.
Okay.
So a lot of as I'm getting in the studio and recording more of these, the best place right now is I do just videos and post them on Instagram. I have a whole reel on Instagram. It's like a file on my profile page
Okay.
that has like 30 musical mantras that you can go on and listen in your own time. And my prescription is to learn it, memorize it, and use it as a practice so it gets stuck in your head.
Yeah, that's
It'll
what I'm
start to
thinking.
run automatically. And
Okay.
it'll pop in when you need it.
Thank you.
Yes.
So join us today after the service, and you can have your own, like it's a personal mantra today, musical mantra today.
Yes. So what we're going to be doing, I'm going to be teaching you how your thoughts create your feelings and your results in your life. And so I'm going to be teaching you a self-coaching tool that you can do to actually make a transformation in your brain, which will then create a mantra for yourself. And then I'll be supporting everyone in creating their own melody to go with it. So you'll be leaving with your own mantra that is meaningful to you and your personal experience and whatever it is you want to transform in your life.
Awesome. Thank you. So what I know is that we all expand in abundance. We expand in success. We expand in love, and we inspire others to do the same today and always. And so it is. So this time in our service, we invite you to be part of the law of circulation, and we appreciate any financial abundance that you're able to offer us in many different ways. There are different ways to donate to us, and what we invite you to do is, whether you're giving today or you've already given this month or you're going to give in the future, to take your hand and put it over your heart to represent that which you are given, and repeat with the affirmation with me that's up on the screen. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I am, and all that I circulate, and so it is. If our ushers could come forward, please.
So one thing I've found also very potent is gratitude. So won't you sing this with me? I am thankful, so thankful. Ooh. I am thankful, so thankful. Ooh. I am, I am, I am. I am, I am, I am, I am so thankful. I am thankful, so thankful. Ooh. I am thankful, so thankful. Ooh. I am, I am, I am. I am, I am, I am so thankful.
I am so thankful. We are so thankful. Thank you. One announcement I forgot that's exciting. Please take your little sheets home to remind you of things. The back page, I didn't get to this part of my talk, so we'll do that next week, next time. But actually, it'll be 2 weeks because next week, Dr. Reverend Georgia Prescott is returning. And so that'll be fun to have her here with us. And these little notes about the story, I just ran out of time today, which usually I always have more to talk about than I have time. So, oh well, I don't think you want to be here till 2 o'clock today. Plus, we have a workshop to do, so. I'm so grateful for everybody being here today. We especially want to welcome guests who haven't been here for a while, or if you happen to be new, we would like to honor you as well. So if you're new to our community, whether online or here in the community, if you could raise your hand, we'd be glad to give you a gift of ours. And we welcome everybody being here today. Thank you for being here. We have a little affirmation for new people and people who haven't been here in a while. We always appreciate visitors and guests. So we raise our hands and we say, we bless you today, knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine. Worlds. We are grateful for your presence in our community, and so it is. So it is. If practitioners could come forward, please. Like I said, we have affirmative prayer available after the service. That if you so want prayer, just keep your seat and let others who are going out for coffee and snacks to file out, and then we'll call you back in for the workshop. You're welcome to bring food and coffee back in and enjoy the workshop that we're going to have. So let's all stand for the congregational affirmation. Repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
I'm led by Spirit.
I'm led by Spirit.
I'm guided by wisdom.
I'm guided by wisdom.
I'm protected by love.
I'm protected by love.
I'm here to be a blessing.
I'm here to be a blessing.
I am so grateful.
I am so grateful.
And so it is.
So it is.
And here's our closing.
So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a
making a big receptacle for all the love and joy in the world. And so it is. Please come back for the workshop. Great job.